girl called Mary loved costumes, and Halloween was her favorite day of the year. In her little town, there was a competition, and she always won it because she had the best costume. But every single person in that town was jealous about her because they wanted to win it too. So one Halloween, that her costume was witch, and she had just won that competition, and mysteriously she turned into a witch. Yes, I will explain it. Until the end of that night, she hadn't discovered it yet, because she thought she would get home, take off her costume, and have a good light sleep. But no, it wasn't like this. When she got home, she discovered that her costume was stuck in her. She couldn't take it off, and some mysterious things started to happen. She could transform a plant into a frog. She could make things go up, high up to the sky without touching them. Yeah, that was pretty much strange. But the worst part, she couldn't control it. She wasn't quite sure what was happening, and she had no idea. So she went to talk to her mother, and her mother told her, It's just your imagination, dear girl. It isn't real. And then she went to talk to her grandmother, and her grandmother said, "Oh, it's just your mind playing tricks on you. It isn't real." And then she went to talk to her grandfather, and her grandfather told her exactly these words: "My dear, someone put a spell on you. I know this is spell. You have to go into the big haunted house in our street and look into the big green book." So she did. And in the big green book was a thing that she quite hadn't understand yet. It was some sort of spell. And she asked her grandfather about it. And her grandfather told her that it was the spell that she had to make to transform herself back in herself, a little girl of a town. And she tried and tried, but she wasn't able to make it. And then she asked her grandfather why, and he told her, "My dear, you can't simply expect to make this spell work in 5 minutes. You have to practice for years and years to make it right." And then she asked him, "But how am I going to turn back myself if I have to practice in years?" And in a big green book was saying that I just have a few hours. And then her grandfather told her that she had to discover a way to do it. And then she thought, but she couldn't figure it out. So one day, 1 hour, it passed 1 hour, and she was walking in the garden, and she saw a big strawberry. She hasn't eaten for hours ago. She just had ate her breakfast. So she ran and grabbed that strawberry and ate it. It was so delicious. And then she continued to practice. And then suddenly her spell simply worked, and she was back in herself. And then she asked her grandfather, "But Grandpa, why I could do it, if I need ears to practice. She wasn't understanding it. And then her grandfather asked her if she ate something. And she said, "Yeah, I ate a big, great strawberry in the garden." And then he said, "Oh, it can't be." And she wasn't understanding it. And then her grandfather explained that just one magic fruit in the whole world could do it work. And she found it like impressive, right? And